In IELTS Speaking, you can deliver a simple answer which will get a high score, even if you're not yet fully confident speaking English. A former IELTS examiner on our team showed it to me, our core students are having great results with it, and I want to show it to you. You might already know that your speaking score comes from 4 criteria, each worth 25% of your final score. How fluently and coherently you speak. I'll explain what it means in a second. Your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. They are marked across the whole test, not part by part. But one of them is tested in part 2 more than anywhere else, fluency and coherence. And the beauty of it is if you focus on it, your other scores will likely go up too. Here's why. Part 2 is the long turn, the one moment in the whole exam where you speak on your own with nobody helping you or interrupting you for up to 2 minutes. And that's the real test of fluency. Can you keep going steadily without long pauses or repeating yourself? It's not only about keeping talking though. There is the coherence side. Can you organize your talk so it's easy to follow? And if you manage to do these 2 things well, you'll naturally get to show the best of your grammar, vocabulary, and even pronunciation. If fluency and coherence go down, everything else gets affected too. So before we get to the full sample answer, let me show you 3 strategies that can help you speak more confidently, get a better answer, and a higher score. First of all, you might get a card about something you've barely thought about. Don't worry about clever, impressive ideas. Do the opposite. Pick something simple that you can describe easily and well in English. A smart idea you can't quite put into words will hurt you. But if you pick a simple idea you can describe clearly, it will carry you all the way through your 2 minutes. This is a test of your English, not your knowledge. Next, when you get a card with your topic, the instructions there read, talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Try to talk about the topic for 2 minutes. Keep going until the examiner stops you. And there is a third thing, and that's the one that matters most in this whole video. It's something about those 4 bullet points that can really help. So let's take a real task and I'll show you. The task is, describe an occasion when you complained about something and achieved a good result. You should say what the complaint was, who you complained to, what the result was, and explain how you felt about the result. Now look at the 4 points. The first 2 are easy and just ask you to describe what, who. The last one starts with a different word. It says explain. And it's asking for your feelings, your reasons, the more complex language. And that's the part that the examiner's really waiting for. So the bullet points are not equal, and that's why the end of your answer matters so much. And I do encourage you to stay with me until the end of the sample answer we're gonna look into. So let's plan it. Before you say a single word, you get 1 minute to prepare. Use it, but don't try to write full sentences. Just jot a quick map of where your answer is going. Just a few words per idea is plenty. Here is the map I made for this one. Just some quick signposts. And notice it already reads like a story, not a list of bullet points. So hold on to that because that's the key to the answer you're about to hear. Remember I said there was something important about those bullet points. Here it is. You don't have to answer them one by one in order, ticking each one off like a checklist. I mean, you can just follow the bullet points. But in some tasks, like this one, it works far better to just tell a story. You talk about what you planned, and what happened, and as you go, the complaint, the result, and it all gets answered naturally inside the story. The examiner isn't holding a checklist in IELTS Speaking Part 2. If you take the general training exam and you write a letter in your writing, you do have to follow those bullet points. Okay. In speaking, they want a natural flowing answer, and a story gives you exactly that. So let me show you what that sounds like. We can begin as follows. Well, I'm not the complaining type, but I'm going to talk about something that happened not long ago. This is an easy way in. It answers the task straight away. And now I'm going to describe the situation. I was put in charge of organizing our graduation party. So I chose this brand new restaurant that caters for large groups, as there were around 100 of us in total. The deal they offered looked great. A set menu with choices for the main course and dessert, plus special meals for vegetarians. The drinks were all included too. Soft drinks, water, beer and wine. Notice there is no complaint yet. This is just the scene setting, what was planned, what was supposed to be. It's the easy descriptive part of your answer, and if your opening sounds simple, it's absolutely fine, it's supposed to. And now let me describe what really happened, the problem. The evening, however, turned out to be a major letdown. The service was slow, and the vegetarian option was, for whatever reason, unavailable. When the food finally arrived, it was either cold or undercooked. On top of that, all the drinks were served warm, and when we asked for ice, we were told there wasn't enough for everyone. And that's the problem. Now look at the ideas and how they're organized, because the examiner will notice this. So we have a few linking words, however, and, when, on top of that, they connect the ideas and make the answer flow. That's very important. And now we get to the part of your answer that can really help you score higher. But first, I wanted to say that this sample answer is already in our IELTS Speaking library. This is a collection of challenging IELTS speaking topics, and it covers over 40 topics from real exams, each with sample answers and useful vocabulary. It's linked in the description if you'd like to check it out. And now we get to the complaint itself. So I asked to speak to the general manager, and she made the excuse that they were understaffed in the kitchen and most of the waiters were temporary or inexperienced. Well, I said, I'm not the type to make a fuss, but I insisted that they give us a partial refund. I think it was when I threatened to post a negative review online that she finally agreed to a generous discount. This covers who you complained to and what the result was. 2 bullet points which, in our story, come together. And who you complained to was a separate bullet point. But in my answer, I just said, I complained to the general manager and moved straight on. I didn't describe her, what she looked like, how long I'd known her. You don't have to spend equal time on each bullet point. And here is the highest difficulty sentence of the whole answer, and it comes at the very end in the explain part. I'm still upset about the whole thing, even though we ended up paying very little. My friends told me I wasn't to blame, but I can't shake the feeling that if I'd been more careful when choosing the venue, the celebration would have turned out differently. So this is explaining your feelings, your reflection, and look at the language. I can't shake the feeling I wasn't to blame. That's natural and idiomatic. I can't shake the feeling means I'm still thinking about it. I still feel it. And I wasn't to blame means it wasn't my fault. And the big one. if I'd been more careful when choosing the venue, the celebration would have turned out differently. That's a third conditional, talking about a past that never happened. And that's exactly the kind of complex grammar that pushes an answer to the top band. Although you can easily get a 7 or even an 8 without it. And if the examiner stops you before you finish your part 2, don't worry about it. It just means it's time for part 3. And that's where harder questions is a good sign. And if that sounds surprising, I explain why and how to answer them in this video here. And thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam.